Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the dude manning the counter, Duncan, and today we are going to talk about the Delta Force starring Chuck Norris and Lee Marvin. It's directed by Menahem Golan. And Menahem Golan usually didn't direct movies he produced. He was produced with his cousin Yoram Globus. They were the Golan Globus team that formed the Cannon Group, which made a lot of 80s action classics, the Delta Force being one of them. Cyborg, Bloodsport, Masters of the Universe, the American Ninja series, just to name a few. This movie is arguably their most epic in scale. Masters of the Universe and Superman 4 may have had bigger budgets, but this was probably their biggest movie as far as just the scope of it and everything. And this movie, the plot's pretty simple, and it was based off some true events from that time. Now, the Delta Force is called in for, tough missions and stuff, when there's no other option, that's who you call. Now, Scott McCoy was on a mission in 1980 that went wrong, and they received bad intel, and he told his superior, Alexander, played by Lee Marvin, he's like, I'm done with this is bad intel, I don't want any part of this. And so, Alexander doesn't want to go, but he understands. So now you go to 1986, and there's an airline with some Americans that was hijacked by a group of hijackers, and it's led by Mark Forrester. He's the main villain here. And so they take over the plane, take the hostages to Beirut, and they have a list of demands. The president is like, we can't take this, we can't allow this, so what do? We call in the Delta Force to try to, take out the stronghold in Beirut, get the hostages back, and if possible get the plane back too, and let's get everybody back home. So that's what they do. And Alexander's like, okay, this is going to be a tough mission, and the rest of the Delta Force, Steve James is among them, the great Steve James, part of the American Ninja series and some other canon movies. Like, his presence is always welcome. And he's like, we need McCoy. So they call him out of retirement, and he comes in, and he gets the briefing, and they know they are up against it. This is going to be hard to pull off. So they go into Beirut, and they need to have some big battles and to get the hostages out of there. And the thing this movie does is, since it's a longer movie, most canon films were an hour and a half, this one was 2 hours, you get to learn about the characters that were kidnapped on the plane, you learn their fears, and you kind of feel for them. And the Delta Force, you can see that they, with the military, in some ways, it's still an action movie, but what the military is about is like, we're here to represent our country and bring back our people back, And so this movie really captured the patriotic Reagan 80s very well. And also, the thing it does is, people ask, like, how would you describe 80s action without saying anything? And I take a clip from the Delta Force, and it shows Chuck Norris blowing up bad guys with rockets from his motorcycle. That's probably what I would use. And like, watch that clip. That's 80s action right there. And so this movie was perfect from that. And the practical effects really hold up today. Everything that you saw on screen really happened, and it looks great. So there's planes and jeeps and dune buggies and just all sorts of explosions, and then the motorcycle with the rockets. I mean, all that stuff, and it was just really, really cool. And this movie was a definite product of its time, and I look back on it finally from a great era. So, and Chuck Norris is perfect for this. This was a movie that was absolutely perfect for him. He's very believable, and Lee Marvin was great, and Steve James, anytime he's there, that's always a plus, like I said. So Menahem Golan did a great job with this. He usually just produced, but he took the reins for this one. It was such a big movie, and it was a big one for canon too. So Anyway, that pretty much covers it. Also, I've been picking up more subscribers, so if you like older action movies, ones that fell on the radar, stuff from the 80s, give me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what you thought of Delta Force, and did you think the motorcycle with the rockets were cool? Any of that stuff. And this was by request, so if you have a request, leave it in there. I may review it. You never know. So thanks for all the support, and I'll see you next time.